Good morning, all of you. Today we are going to start Khuswant Singh's Karma. And as you all know, in the last class, when we discussed the text, I talk about that renowned Padma Bhushan and Padma Vibhushan award winning writer who made a very strong impact on Indian writings with his irony. Now, this is a story which is taken from the book The Collected Stories, which has a bold statement. And that statement is very important. And that statement is the introspection of our colonized society. That means self-criticism. There is a question of identity. Identity crisis is the central area of the text. So if you analyze the text in details, and first is the term karma. Karma is an Hindu theological idea, and that means destiny. That means someone is going to get the results according to the work. And this concept has a close connection with the Greek idea of nemesis, which is justice is given to us in consideration of our karma. Now, if you look at the story, and if I read the first line of the story, you can understand the story deals with mostly two characters, Sir Mohanlal and his wife. Sir Mohanlal is the central character of the text. So if I read the text starts in a very dramatic manner in a railway waiting room. Sir Mohanlal looked at himself in the mirror of a first-class waiting room at the railway station. The mirror was obviously made in India. Very important is the obvious. The red oxide at its back had come off in several places, and long lines of translucent glass cut across its surface. You can understand that's talked about the torn and deserted condition of our country, of his native land, that is India. And the story talks about Sir Mohanlal's character, that he was very unhappy with whatever his own culture has, the lifestyle, the food habits, the customs. He was absolutely unhappy, who always tried to imitate the Western model or the British culture. Two things are there. When someone is imitating means blindly copying something without knowing its impact or without knowing its positive or negative sides. And if you look at the character of Sir Mohanlal in this text, Sir Mohanlal is a representative of that breed of Indian who has a strong hatred for its own culture. He was born in India, educated in abroad, and he was accustomed to the English lifestyle. That's why he thought that it is a country of the uncivilized. It is a country of the savages. But you can understand the story at the end proves that the title is absolutely apt when Sir Mohanlal was thrown away by the two English soldiers, when his English accent, English dress, English newspaper could not save him. And Sir Mohanlal fell into a kind of in a situation where he has been suffering from an identity crisis. He does not know who he actually is. Is he an English or an Indian? So he has been suffering from that dilemma, that identity crisis, and he became a victim of his own karma. So as you know that whatever dress, whatever speech, whatever lifestyle, these are all external things. But what Sir Mohanlal could not change was the color of his skin, and that was responsible for his downfall. And at the end of the text, he understood what he had done throughout his life, and he got his result, just like the way results always follow the deed. But quite contrastingly, Sir Mohanlal's wife was a very traditional woman who is an epitome of the traditional values of our land is the land of sages. That's why when we talk about our country, it is a country which talks about culture, which talks about education. So Sir Mohanlal's wife is a perfect example of the traditional values and well preserved culture. And the denial of your own culture, and the continuous hankering after the foreign culture. Sir Mohanlal was alienated from the world around him, and as if he was living in a deserted island, in an island of despair, where he has no one to share his thoughts. In this context, what I mentioned in my presentation, I just want to share a very important comment by the great Greek philosopher Aristotle. And Aristotle said, quote unquote, educating the mind without educating the heart is not an education at all. And I think this line is apt in the case of Sir Mohanlal, where he had not understood anything apart from the lifestyle, apart from the expensive dresses, about his tie, about his shoot, about the perfumes, about his lifestyle, which were completely a copy of the Western world. But he could not well bring up his mind. And irony is there everywhere, that those are external things, and that can never save you in any of the condition. So the text is another way. It's a perfect psychological text which talked about the psychological aspect of the human beings. So unless you give respect to someone, it's very difficult to expect that person will respect you in return. So the same thing happened with Sir Mohanlal. And if I read out that some important areas of the text, just like that portion of that, when Sir Mohanlal was reading the newspaper Times, the Times always attracted attention. Someone would like to borrow it when he put it aside with a gesture signifying, I have finished with it. So he always believed in pretension. Whatever he was doing, he was always believing of showing off his style of living. And when the two English soldiers entered into that compartment, he was very happy that he would interact with them. But these two English soldiers, identifying him as a native Indian, and they just threw his luggage and him outside the platform. So this text Karma deals with several important themes. That there is a huge contrast between the culture and the lifestyle, and the self-importance, heritage, identity, and acceptance. These are very, very important factors here. And the famous proverb, pride comes before a fall. The same thing happened with Sir Mohanlal here. Sir Mohanlal became a victim of his own karma, because if he could love his country, if he could love, because his countrymen would give him that kind of a respect what he deserved, but he did not get anything. That's why he fell in between of something where he belonged to no one. He belonged to no one, he belonged to no culture, he belonged to no person. That's why the story talks about a very, very powerful, ironical text talking about the character of Sir Mohanlal, who suffered a lot due to his own karma, due to whatever he done all through his years, towards his wife and also towards his relatives, whom he thought they were ignorant, they were uncivilized, and they were not up to the mark to meet him. But at the end of the text, he became a victim of his own circumstances, of his own karma. Alright, so read the text in details along with the presentation, whatever I sent you. Then if you have any questions, after that we will discuss in the interactive session. Alright, so thank you everyone. Thank you. Good morning, all of you.